Hey, entrepreneurs, Denise Klein here with Klein Virtual and our Tech Tuesday today. We are talking about a tech stack. Have you heard this term, tech stack? I think because in my industry, in my world, that is a term I hear all the time. But I said that to someone recently, and they're like, what is that? So today we're going to talk about what is a tech stack. So, a tech stack is simply a term for all the tech that you need to use inside of your business to make your business run. It's everything from your website and your email to your CRM and anything and everything in between. So, I include things like Facebook and Instagram in this, even though I haven't put it on this screen, because those are things that I absolutely use within my business. So, really, everything from Google on up. So think about all the pieces of tech. And I think if you actually sat down and made a list of all the tech you use in your business, I think you'd be a little surprised. And frankly, you might be a little surprised if you added up what all of those things cost you as well. And it can be really overwhelming just because if you are not a tech person, having one piece of tech can be overwhelming, much less if you have to use a lot of them. So, we're actually going to explore a little bit about tech stacks in this presentation. So I like to talk about what I call the cycle of madness when it comes to a tech stack. And because I think it starts this way, especially for all of those of us that are solo entrepreneurs, I'm not working for a business that's handing me a list of tech that they provide me. I'm pulling pieces together. It's almost like, creating a collection. Think about collecting Beanie Babies back in the day. Now we're collecting tech and well, they're not worth anything more than the Beanie Babies are. But it starts off simple enough, right? You're like, okay, I need to be able to email people. So I've got Google. I have Denise at Klein Virtual. It is actually based in Google. It's not a Gmail account like, Denise at gmail.com. It is Denise at Klein Virtual. So you go to them and you get a workspace and you give the, you get yourself a domain and then you have your own email. But, that's not quite enough. So next thing you think, okay, well, I need an actual CRM. And if you don't know what that term is, customer relationship management, it is client management software. And it just means think about a Rolodex, right? It is your list of people, and you might have it broken out. So here's people that I'm networking with. These are clients, these are leads, that sort of thing. And you can divide up with where those clients are and target market to those folks, usually in the form of email marketing. So maybe it's not HubSpot for you. Maybe you use ConvertKit or MailChimp or any of the millions of others, but you have some way of sending out emails to multiple people at once from your business email account. Then you start thinking, well, next I'm going to need a website. So maybe you're using WordPress or you were using Squarespace. I tried using Squarespace and I hated it. And so I actually switched over to Wix. And so that was where my website was for quite a time. And then I started thinking, okay, I have my email, I have my CRM, I have a website, but now I need to do some marketing pieces, right? So next, I added in Canva. And as you all know, I love Canva. It's my favorite. So, and when you get into Canva, you're going to be creating things that you're going to email to clients. You're going to create things that you might put on your website, and you're going to create things for your social media, right? And so now you need some way of posting all the things to social media. Now you can just go to Facebook directly and just post directly from there. They actually have their own version of called Meta Business on the back end, so you can schedule posts. But I ended up using MetroCool because I thought it was more user friendly than Facebook. It was a freebie, that was a good thing, but I used that to post to social media. It actually had really good analytics, and it was free. And it was just easier than Metro. And so then the next thing that I got after that was, okay, now I need a way for people to be able to book time with me, because sending them an email and saying, when are you available? And them sending me back 3 options just for me to say, I'm not available for any of those. What about these 3 options? Maddening. If you can just send them a link and let them book a call, and it had some automations already built into it. So it would email them a confirmation. It would email them reminders because you can set that up within it. I loved Calendly. for that. And then I started thinking, well, next, I need some way to send estimates, proposals, contracts for signatures. And so I tried Dubsado. I did not love Dubsado. And so then I tried Honeybook. I did not love Honeybook either. And anyway, I'll talk about that a little bit later. But next thing that I added was I wanted to use something like Kajabi. I looked at Thinkific, Teachable, all these things because I knew that I wanted to have a course area. And frankly, I use my membership area not just for courses. But we could talk about that another time. But this is what my tech stack actually looked like, and that's how it grew. It grew from one thing to another, and it just seemed to never end, including the price tag for all of those things really added up over time. So when I was actually building all of this, I noticed that trying to get information from one piece of my tech stack to another was an issue because they don't natively talk to each other. So that's where I got into Zapier. If you've not heard of Zapier before, it is a great little piece of tech that will allow one thing to talk to another that they don't normally talk to another. I call it duct tape. Zapier is great duct tape to make sure that you're connecting. And so what you're trying to do when you're adding all these pieces of tech together is to create a system for yourself. You have a process that you go through anytime you get a lead or anytime you get a new client or you're doing a discovery call. You want to have that process in place. That's what you're trying to build. And I found that it was a little wonky. And so using Zapier to send information from one piece of tech to another saved me time because then I wasn't manually entering all that information. So I definitely say that Zapier is the duct tape that was holding my entire system together. One example was I would get a lead that would come in on my Wix website, and I wanted that to go to my CRM. So I would use Zapier to take that information from Wix and send it to HubSpot, for example. So if you don't know that's an option, and you have some similar system to everything that I built, then maybe look into Zapier and how that might be able to simplify some things for you. But I found, and not only me, but my clients and stuff, that all that tech was overwhelming, right? So I love technology. I don't know about you, and I'm not afraid of technology. And so jumping in and learning all of these things was okay for me. It was time consuming. It was stressful. Don't get me wrong. But it was doable. I think once I started looking at adding in Kajabi and really looking at the price of things and how things were working and really sat back and evaluated, that's when I was like, maybe there's something better. And that is when I found a system called High Level. And High Level is what Sproutware is built on, just like a web designer will use WordPress to design a website. I have used High Level to design Sproutware. And what I love about having this solution is it's all in one spot. Okay. So now I'm not logging into 7 different things. I have one that I can log into. And I've said before, and I will always say, Sproutware is not an all in one because I don't think there's any one tech solution, but it is an all in most. For example, it's not going to replace Canva. Canva's too good. It does its own thing. And Sproutware is not that. But Sproutware is a place where we can build sales and marketing systems. And so inside of this, I was able to let go of all of those things. Of course, Google, I still have Google, but I was able to replace all of those other things. And there were other things I was probably going to continue collecting more tech to run my business. But now because I have Sproutware, I don't have to. So if you happen to be someone like me that had collected all the tech and it's not working, then maybe consider an all-in-one solution, whether it's Sproutware or something else. Now, one thing, because I am going to toot my own horn a little bit because it's my job, nobody else is going to do this for me. When you go and you get all of this tech, think about that. You've gotten Wix, you've gotten HubSpot, you've gotten all of these things. What kind of support have you gotten from it? Is it an email? Is it maybe you can, submit a ticket, that sort of thing? that is where I think a lot of these things fall apart for me. You get a piece of technology and you're just expected to learn all the pieces about it. And I want you to think about it. If you're really looking back at your tech stack, do you know how to use those things? Are you using it properly? Are you using it consistently? And I would say if you're not comfortable with the tech, if you don't know how to use it, you're probably not getting your money's worth out of it. And one of the things that I really feel like Sproutware is a huge benefit is you get a real live human person to help you to set up the system. Now, when you get into Sproutware, it has automations already built in for you. So you will have calendars, you will have reminders, you will have all of these things already built, and I will help you get all of those things set up so you're actually up and running in a fairly short period of time. All tech takes a little bit of time. But if you find that you are overwhelmed with tech, that you're not using everything to the fullest. If you're spending hours and hours of time and you'd like to maybe stop doing that, maybe consider thinking about something like Sproutware and letting us support you. So I say that Sproutware is an all in most sales and marketing system that you can build over time. It does so very much. I'm not going to overwhelm you with that. But remember, you would have someone, a real life person, to help you and teach you and walk you through it. Okay, that's my Tech Tuesday. I hope you have a wonderful week. See you next week.